India and China have a long history together, from peaceful exchanges and trade along the ancient Silk Road to times of conflict and mistrust. Official diplomatic relations started in 1950 when India recognized China's government. They tried to work together peacefully, signing the Panchsheel Agreement in 1954, which was about living peacefully side by side. But they had serious border disputes over areas like Aksai Chin and Arunachal Pradesh. This led to the 1962 war between the two countries, causing a lot of mistrust that has lasted for decades. Since then, their relationship has gone up and down, with both engaging in talks but also facing border standoffs and military tensions. Trade between India and China grew steadily and became important for both countries. However, things got worse sharply after the 2020 Galwan Valley clash, where soldiers from India and China fought fiercely along the border, leading to the tragic death of many Indian soldiers. This was a big turning point. After this clash, India put many restrictions on Chinese investments, banned several Chinese apps, and increased border security. On the other side, China moved closer to Pakistan, adding to the regional tension. Trade between India and China was disrupted, though India still imports more than $100 billion worth of goods each year from China, especially things like medicine and technology parts. For 7 years, there were no major visits between the two countries because of these tensions. In 2025, Prime Minister Modi's visit to China for the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Summit was an important step forward in diplomacy. This visit happened during a time when the U.S., under former President Trump, had put high tariffs, extra taxes, on Indian goods, accusing India of trading with Russia. This made India want to build new partnerships and reconsider its relationship with China. Meanwhile, China's economy was slowing down, and it wanted to keep good ties with India without pushing India fully into the Western alliance. The SCO Summit became the place where Modi and China's President Xi Jinping met after years of cold relations. During the meeting, both leaders talked about restarting their relationship and choosing dialogue over fighting. They agreed on symbolic actions like starting the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage again and restarting direct flights that had stopped due to COVID-19. They also planned to relax visa rules to encourage business and tourism between the two countries. On managing their border, both sides agreed to focus on trust, respect, and sensitivity. They committed to continue moving troops away from tense areas and keep peace. Trade and economic issues were a big part of the talks. India raised concerns about its big trade deficit with China. China promised to open its market more for Indian products like medicines, farm goods, and IT services. They also discussed easing restrictions on key materials like rare earth minerals, semiconductors, and tunnel boring machines, which India needs. Investments that had stopped would start again, helping both countries economically. On the strategic side, Modi and Xi talked about how their two countries together affect 2.8 billion people. She used the metaphor of India and China as the elephant and the dragon, saying they should work as friends. They agreed to cooperate on big issues like climate change, energy security, and fighting terrorism. India also said it's cautious about China's Belt and Road projects but still sees the importance of working together on regional stability. Politically, India wants to balance its relationships with big powers like the US, Japan, Russia, and China to protect its own interests. Keeping the border peaceful is very important so India can focus on its own development. For China, it wants to stop India from fully joining US-Japan alliances and also gain better access to the Indian market to help its slowing economy. Xi Jinping wants China to be seen as a stabilizing force in the region amid the rivalry with the US. The success of the SCO Summit and the meeting sends a clear message that India and China want to manage their issues themselves without too much Western interference. This helps keep the power balance stable in the Himalayan region. To sum up, Modi's visit to China after 7 years was a big and symbolic moment, influenced mainly by changes in global politics like Trump's tariffs and regional security concerns. It opened the door for restarting diplomatic talks, strengthening economic ties, and making progress on border peace. How well these agreements work on the ground remains to be seen, but India is careful to avoid conflicts like the Galwan clash and hopes for a more stable and friendly relationship with China in the future. Thanks you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to see more such content and to be aware of geopolitics going around us.